want to be sure to be heard clearly.
Brothers, fellas, we messing up. And I'm gonna tell you how. Just keep watching.
Man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here for another week of Talk to Me Tuesday. I don't have no graphics or nothing, but you know, I'm pointing at stuff, so it's gonna be okay. Another week for Talk to Me Tuesday. It's me, your esteemed host, Professor Christopher, as I like to call myself. So before we get started, let's do a couple of housekeeping things first. First, you know, I'm not just talking in these videos now. This is stuff that we hypothesize, we think about, we talk about within my circle. As you guys may or may not know, especially if you're new to the channel, I am in financial services. I'm a financial services producer. I have a certain niche of products that I do because no two financial services professionals are the same. So if you want to check us out, please check out my website, www.archerfinancialservices.org. It's archerfinancialservices.org. I'm going to include a little screen grab of the website so you won't be confused when you get on there. You know, just give it a look. Some of the services you might want to inquire about. Some of you might want to, you know, guide somebody else to. It's all good. Whatever you want to do, just make sure that you check me out, okay? So, let's segue on into the topic for the week. Dating and cash. Now, if you remember, if you're a veteran to the channel, you remember maybe 1 or 2 months ago, I put out a video about dating and credit, you know. So just in case, on the off chance that you want to take that baddie out and you don't have the cash on you, hey, just put it on my credit card. I'm a baller. She don't need to know how long it's gonna take me to pay the date off, but you know, it's whatever's whatever. Everybody's having fun. Pay for the date, no problems, right? So let's just say on the off chance, right? The off chance where you like, man, that strategy sound good. My credit's already good, bro. I don't need to add nothing to my credit cards or nothing like that. I got them where I want them. I prefer to use cash. Okay, now here's the part that I didn't cover within the credit piece, right? So there has become an issue where fellas are overestimating the amount of money that they're spending on their lady friend, and of course this is leading to them having expectations at the end of the night. If you know what the wink means, then you know what I mean by expectations, right? So what I want to cover is, and I'm hypothesizing that a lot of bros are not misunderstanding, but they're not calculating correctly how much that they're actually spending on the lady, right? So, you know, if you are a frequent of Twitter or Facebook or whatever, you might have seen content where people are talking about, man, $200 dates or blah 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 or blah blah blah, and all that's cool, you know. I guess you can't put a price on a good time, but at the same time, the thing is, again, you're paying a certain amount of money for this lady, and then on the other end you're paying a certain amount of money for yourself. You're combining it all together, and then what comes out of this is some kind of expectation that this lady is supposed to basically, you know, kiss the ground that you walk on and worship you as a king. Oh, king. Oh, yes. Oh, king. Yes. Yes. And all that good stuff, right? And it's not happening, because let me explain to you why. You, my friend, you, my horny fella, you are not spending as much money on that woman as you think that you are. Right? So, I mean, a lot of people say common sense ain't too common, right? So this is probably one of those things where a lot of people are going to be like, well, duh. But then on the other hand, for those who aren't as woke about this whole process as they need to be, this is going to be, duh, no wonder why she won't text me back. You're going to get a lot of that. Maybe you tell me, maybe you don't. That's your business. But at the same time, I really just want you to consider that your expectations are not matching what you're spending. Now, of course, this is a channel where we promote, equal standing for everybody. So just because you spend a certain amount of money doesn't mean a certain thing is going to happen with you and whoever it is that you take out, right? So I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is just check your ego a little bit here and follow along. So I'm going to include a example of what I'm talking about. The itemized receipt is from an evening of hibachi. Okay, so it's two people, a male and a female. And of course, my logic behind this whole thing, and the thing that I hope that you're grabbing, is if you separate what you spent, which you were going to spend regardless whether she was there or not, you were going to spend every single last piece of whatever it is that you spent, right? And you're doing this cash. So this is an immediate thing. So this is coming directly out of your bank account, right? So you were going to get what you were going to get regardless of her not being there, right? So now you also have to consider what she's going to buy. Now, let's rewind a little bit here. You shouldn't be taking women out if you don't have the necessary funds to do so. Let's just get that out the way. I don't care how you feel about it. You shouldn't be doing this. Take control of the situation. You know when you get paid. Am I right? Am I wrong? I believe I'm right. You know when you're going to get paid. You know the dates. You know what you have to pay out of this check. And you know what you got to pay out of this check. Now, at this point, I'm telling you, you have to be honest with this young lady. Just to be like, hey, I want to take you out, but I can't do it until this point in time. You don't have to tell her why. You're in charge of planning. So you're already taking control of the situation. I can take you out here. I'll have the cash. You don't have to say that out loud. I have the cash to take you out on this day. Because this is my check where I have all kinds of extra money, right? So we are going out on this day. This is where we're going. This is what time you need to be there. You in control of this whole thing, right? So she's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then of course, in the meantime, you got to make sure your rapport is strong. You're holding on to her. You're checking on her. You're talking to her. Cracking some jokes. Send her some memes. Do whatever it is that you need to do to cultivate this rapport. Because you going to take this lady out. And she going to be able to get whatever she wants. Because you planned this around when you were going to have some money. Now, because you told me you don't want to use credit. So now we using cash. So this is where we're at. So now let's fast forward back to date night, okay? So as you can see on this receipt, it has been separated between what the male bought and what the female bought. And as you can see, the male, who is the payer, has gotten everything that he wants to get. Because like I said, he was going to get it whether she was going to be there or not, right? So now you can also see what the total is that was spent on the female, right? And if you take offense to the word female, I'm sorry. To the woman, let's try that, okay? So Now you can see the discrepancy in which the items that were bought, right? So at this point, of course, you have the money, you're going to pay it. Do note that what you're seeing is void of sales tax and tip and all of that good stuff, although it's actually on the receipt. You may not be able to see it well, but everything else you should be able to see, as I have included it, like I said I would. So now you see, okay, so I spent X amount of dollars on me, and what I spent on her, maybe $30, maybe $40, maybe $50, maybe $60. If y'all really went out and had a good time, you know, it's a couple of brewskis, a couple of lemon drops, some Long Island iced tea, some old fashions, whatever it is that the ladies are drinking these days, Casamigos, whatever. All of this is included in the ticket. So if you break it down, you see what you spent on you again, and you see what you spent on her. And you're going to realize that you're really not spending that much money on this woman, right? So, of course, now you're paying cash. It comes out immediately out of your bank account. Everything is all good. Now, the discrepancy here that we see is people will be like, when things go wrong, people will be like, well, we went on a date, man, and I spent $200. And you did. However, here's the gotcha. You spent most of that money on you, and then you had expectations for this woman that you spent $39.72 on. You want the world from her, and you spent $39.72 cash. Now, when she goes out on her own, or when she goes out with her friends, she's spending double that. So you, a person who isn't thinking, expect this woman to give herself to you, but you haven't spent comparably of what she would normally spend on herself. So now, on top of, you on a cheap, fast date, you want her to give you her, you want her to give you her goodness, her goods, her snacks. But you haven't even spent comparably to what she would spend. So at this point, she's cheapening herself for you. Now, is that something that you really want? I don't think so, but I don't think that you're also, you may not be thinking of this properly. So again, with this kind of thing, you want to think. You don't want to be an idiot, okay? When things go wrong and you're talking about what you spent on her and what you did, this, that, and everything else. You didn't spend as much as you think you spent. And it's okay to admit that you might have, jumped the gun. It happens. But just don't let it happen again after you see this video. I'm just trying to help you out, brother. You do whatever you want to do after this.